Barrier Systems introduces the Quickchange movable barrier, a safety-shaped concrete barrier that can be moved from lane to lane quickly, easily, and safely. It provides positive protection for highway construction sites that need to be shifted. It's a safe, efficient, traffic control lane change system. The idea for Quickchange barrier came from a lane-changing curb developed in Sydney, Australia. The concept was redesigned by Barrier Systems Incorporated of Sausalito, California, into a safety-shaped barrier and refined to meet the requirements of the U.S. market. The Quickchange barrier consists of a chain of hinged concrete sections that weigh approximately 1,500 pounds each. The top of each section is T-shaped. This allows the barrier to be picked up and moved by the transfer vehicle. Transferring the barriers from one lane to another is accomplished by engaging the in-feed section of the transfer machine's conveyor with the lead module and driving forward. The sections are lifted off the pavement on urethane conveyor wheels, moved in a sidewinder fashion through an elongated S curve, and accurately repositioned on the new lane line. To meet the varied requirements of construction zone activities on highways, bridges, and in tunnels, Barrier Systems has also designed and developed a versatile self-propelled transfer and transport machine. It's called the TTV Model 3. This new machine is very versatile and can transfer the barrier from one lane to another at speeds up to 5 miles an hour. This means a mile of barrier can be moved one lane or more in just 10 to 20 minutes. Barrier Systems maintains a test track where crash tests are conducted to test and prove our barriers. Dozens of tests have been conducted, and never once during our crash tests has any vehicle at any speed from any angle either penetrated or vaulted over a Series 200 barrier. As a result of these tests, the barrier has been approved by the Federal Highway Administration for use on federal aid highway projects. These tests are critically important in determining the future safety of construction workers on the roads, highways, and bridges of the United States. These barriers are so easy to move, they can be used when it was impractical to have positive protection before. When you use the Quickchange system, you don't have to choose between worker safety and motorist convenience. You get both. That's even more reassuring when the Federal Highway Administration data shows that work zone fatal accidents jumped from 437 in 1982 to 678 in 1985. Construction barriers, Quickchange barriers from Barrier Systems, can be the road to both future highway safety and convenience. 4 construction systems are now in place in the United States. Let's hear what Mr. Neil A. McCaleb, Oklahoma State Secretary of Transportation, had to say during a recent interview regarding an installation in Oklahoma City.
It's going to reduce the possibility of fatalities in the workplace, and it's going to expedite the flow of traffic for the road users. We're building this widening, 6-laning of these bridges on Interstate I-240 with 72,800 cars a day. We measured them last week. And these movable barriers, with the assistance of the transport and transfer vehicle, makes it possible for us to provide the full 4 lanes during the peak hours of traffic. And we work under the lights at night and pinch it down to 1 lane in each direction during the minimum traffic flows. The object is twofold. One's to maintain the traffic flow during the peak traffic hours, and more importantly, to preserve the safety of the workmen along this major arterial. We're the 2nd state in the nation to use this technique, and Oklahoma Department of Transportation is right on the cutting edge of technology to help the road users reduce their inconvenience and the delays, and to save lives in the workplace. If we were moving this manually without the transport transfer vehicle, it would take about 2 days to move the string of barrier that you saw moved in just a few minutes. We'll reuse it again and again where we have similar situations of high traffic volume and high risk to the workers in order to help the road users and reduce their delay and to protect the workers in the workplace.
The barriers can also be used in more permanent applications, specifically a traffic separation lane change system. The first traffic control lane change system using movable barriers was put into service late in 1986 on a bridge in Paris, France. The bridge was formerly a typical 4-lane system with 2 lanes heading into downtown Paris and 2 lanes heading out. The inbound and outbound lanes were separated by a permanent concrete barrier. Congestion had become a major problem, and the French authorities decided that a movable barrier system would be the answer. The bridge was modified from 4 12-foot lanes to 5 10-foot lanes, and a movable barrier was installed. Each day, the barrier is moved twice. It provides 3 lanes into Paris in the morning and 3 lanes out of Paris at night. The system has worked very well and has substantially relieved the commute hour congestion. Here we're watching the evening move take place, and as you can see, the TTV machine does not interfere with traffic during the transfer. Plus, it is protected by the barrier, which makes it a very safe operation. In this application, the transfer machine is being steered automatically by a sensor which is detecting a special radio frequency. The signal comes from a loop buried in the pavement. The system has been very successful and has achieved extremely accurate placement of the barriers within 2 centimeters throughout its operation. The transfer vehicle's operators keep an eye on the roadway for any unusual conditions, and if required can manually override the automatic steering system. The traffic separation system is working beautifully in Paris. It provides improved traffic flow with safety, particularly during the rush hours. Whether for construction zone protection or improving traffic flow, the Quickchange barrier systems are the road to the future. You've seen how the Series 200 barriers move quickly and easily from one lane to another to make construction work safer and more convenient. You've seen the versatile transfer and transport vehicle. You've seen some of the extensive crash tests that have been conducted to prove the system. You've seen a successful traffic separation system. And we've all taken a look into the future. What we've seen is a new way to provide highway safety and convenience. And it's available right now from Barrier Systems.